Hey, let's talk how to get an agent. So, I want to give you three things that you can do right now towards getting an agent or a manager. But first, let me talk about the difference between an agent and a manager. An agent gets the breakdowns every day. They go through the breakdowns, and breakdowns are these things issued, casting descriptions of projects essentially, that are sent out in one long document form. Agents subscribe to them. They're called the breakdowns. You've probably seen them, you've gotten a hold of them. And then your agents, all of the agents in the office, including the assistants, pour through those daily to see which one of their clients are right for those parts. And then they formally submit you to the agent, to the casting director through their electronic process. And then if they're a good agent and they have time, they call and try and get you an appointment and talk to the casting director about how great you are. Okay. So that's how that process works. Basically, agents are a job agency, essentially, right? They look at the listings. It's just like if you were looking for a regular day job, you go to the newspaper and look in the classified sections. Well, the breakdowns are the classified sections for agents, plain and simple. A manager is different from an agent because a manager is not signing on to read breakdowns all day long. Generally, what gives managers their power is that they already have a bevy of working clients on prime time or in some feature films that are making money right now. Okay? Managers sign on for the life of an actor's career. You get a manager when you actually have a career to manage. Like if you've had a certain amount of credits or a certain amount of success in theater and a little bit in film, but you want to raise the game and move to a different area. Managers are essential for the TV and film game if you're going to really grow. Because they have the ability to pick up the phone and talk to the head of network. They have the ability to take out a famous director for lunch because their famous movie star client has been in 3 of that director's movies. So this manager has been on set with their very famous client, building a relationship with the crew, with the television studio, with that director. The manager's job is to manage the career, to pull all of the pieces together that way. So managers you hire, and they usually take more of a percentage than agents who take 10%. Managers take anywhere from 15, some of them 20. They're not regulated by any kind of rules, right? So if you're going to go the manager route, make sure they're powerful. Because if they don't have a bunch of clients that are very successful, and by successful I mean, that doesn't mean they're mega movie stars. That means they are actors whose faces you recognize because they're always playing the police chief. They're always playing the bad guy in a movie. They are people who do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies per year, every year of their career. The most powerful managers, and I'm not talking about managers with mega stars, because if a manager has a big, huge star, like a Tom Cruise, they ain't got time for you. Because that's a full-time job managing that career, right? Because managers also usually keep schedules for actors, right? So if they have a big movie star client, that means the manager is out on the road, going to the press junket, going to all the awards ceremonies, schmoozing directors, flying to set, right? They got a big movie star, they ain't got time for you. You want the manager that has created careers for 10 or 15 actors who you see all the time, whose work you admire. Because that manager understands how to build an acting career for the lifetime of your career. They know how to push for you to get seen for things that are outside of type because it means you'll work longer as an artist. Managers have that kind of a vision, right? So the ideal team to have is a manager and an agent. Once you have a career to manage, otherwise, why are you giving somebody that money? Until you have a very lucrative career or you have a resume full of really respectable credits, right? Major American theaters, primetime television, hit shows, a few feature films, not indie, not NYU film students, features that were in movie theaters and they did well in the box office or they had huge critical acclaim. You have a serious resume. Then it's time to pay somebody. Give away 25% of your earnings, essentially, for a manager, right? Until you have a career to manage, not so much. Unless you're really hotshot beautiful and you look like a very commercial type right now, and you're only going to look that way for a couple more years, and you're super talented, and your arsenal, which is your headshot, your resume, your reel, your website, your press kit, are in fantastic order, you look like a movie star. And you're only going to look this pretty and this perfect and be in this type for the next 2 years, usually means somebody 18 to 21, then okay, get an agent and a manager because you are highly marketable. The rest of us, you can build a career without a manager. In New York City, you can build a career without an agent. And that is how you get an agent. There's 2 ways to get an agent in New York City. Be in a show that gets reviewed by Variety, the New York Times. And the New York Times is really all that really matters. One sentence about you in a review that is good from the New York Times can get you meetings at every network. Because when you're in a play and you get a great review in the New York Times, everybody from network television in New York City, from the casting offices, come to see you in that play. And generally, they'll actually call your agent or your manager to meet you because you got a great review. That's how powerful the New York Times is. So you can get in a show and get a great New York Times review. It will get you agent and manager meetings. But when you get there to the meeting, if you're not on your game, they're not signing you, right? You got to have a movie star headshot. And I talk about this in the webinar, the free webinar, The Actor in the Business, which I'll also post on this page so you can listen to that. That arsenal has to be in shape. You can't be going into a meeting with Paradigm with $400, $500 headshots from some very nice photographer. It's got to look like a movie star package, right? So you want to get in on the movie star game. The first thing you got to do is control everything within your power, which is your look, right? Which is all the marketing material that an agent or a manager uses to get you an audition. Your headshot and your reel. And quite frankly, these days, it is all about a reel, right? And putting all of those pieces together. I talk a little bit, and I'll go over it briefly, about what your arsenal should look like. You should have a press kit. And in that press kit, you have a headshot, you have a resume. The resume has most important credits listed first. It has most powerful institutions where you trained listed first, right? Everything else after that. Institutions convey power. The resume at the top of it, it needs to actually deal with the area that you want your career to move in. So if you know you want to go into TV and film, what you should have up there is TV and film. Plain and simple. And then theater later. If you know you want to do Broadway, then you need to have Broadway credits at the top of your resume. If you don't have any of these things, we need to talk about building up your arsenal, which is a whole different other conversation, which I'm going to deal with a little in the next webinar that I'm doing about how to get an agent. And that is a little bit longer. We have a little bit more time for me to like sort of lay out what that press kit looks like. But off the top of your head, it's headshot, resume, a 1-page, which is a list of one-line reviews from famous press outlets. You know, The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, New York Times, New York Daily News. So you have 5 sentences. That's what a 1-page is. It's 5 quotes that somebody said about your work that were magnificent that got published. And then you have an industry contact list, which is everyone you've met in the industry, everyone who's ever given you a job, from teachers, casting directors, assistant casting directors, interns, managers, agents. And then on the other side of that, you're going to have who you want to meet. So you got your 1-page, which is your press kit page. You got your industry contact list, have mets and want to meets. You've got your headshot and your resume. And your headshot totally tells me who you are as an actor, both emotionally and physically. It tells me what can I send this person out on right now, today, as does your reel, as does your website. A really effective website is all about the main page. Headshot, resume, these same things I'm asking you to put in a press kit. Headshot, resume, reel, contact information. Nothing else matters. If you send me a bio about your personal life and how you've wanted to be an actress since you were 3 years old, it tells me that you want to write or you want to be a blogger. If you want to be an actor and I'm a director on a set who's been sent your reel, I want to go to 1 page, click it open, and see your reel in the 2 minutes that I have before they're setting up the next scene. If I'm a casting director and I've got to cast 60 people this afternoon for an episode of Blue Bloods, I don't have time to search around on your main page for your reel. Right? And when they write in last minute characters, often They cast those people from actors they've auditioned before, and they just go have the director look at their reel. That happens fast. So know that everything about your press kit has to be accessible. If you're trying to get an agent or a manager and you don't have an IMDb page, you're not really trying to get an agent or a manager. You can make a short film to get an IMDb credit. This is a game, people. When you're talking about I want to get an agent or a manager, you're asking somebody who's paying $7,000 or $8,000 a month rent for their offices in Manhattan, because if you're a Manhattan agent, you got to have a Manhattan office and you got to show up like a player in order for network and every other casting director in town to take you seriously. You have to have an office. And they have expenses. They have an entire staff that they're dedicated to looking for work for people all the time and sending them out on auditions, and 90% of that work never gets booked. So an agent is looking at you saying, can this person make me money this week? And if your presentation, your look, your audition material, your reel, your website says, I can't send you out on audition today, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to give it a second look. I'm not going to call you in for a meeting because you're wasting my time. And in this city, time is money. That time that somebody wastes looking for your reel, muddled deeply into a website, is time that they could have called and gotten two of their other clients' auditions and been on the phone talking up, Katharina Eggman at CBS for 15 minutes on the phone, right? Which is what agents do all day long. They don't have time to waste. Casting people have no time to waste. Directors on sets have no time to waste. They like to do casting quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it's often done on an iPad or an iPhone. So make sure that your website, and I'm saving you money, it only needs to be one page. Headshot, resume, reel, contact information. The end. The end. It should be a duplicate of that on the IMDb page. Don't have any money? Skip it. Use your IMDb page as your website, right? You can even have that as a link to your website. You can say my website is, janedoe.com, have your headshot and your resume, have a little sample there and say, click here for my reel, and it takes you to IMDb page. Create a short film if you don't have IMDb credits. If you know that your goal is to work in film and television, you absolutely have to create a professional reel. And I don't mean auditions on tape. Not going to get you a meeting with an agent. Sorry. Not unless there's a smashing New York Times review. Also, inside that press kit, in a show where somebody can come see your work right now. And even then, agents will freelance you until you have a package that looks smart, because they can't send some raggedy headshot and resume and reel over to primetime to try and get you an audition. And usually when a person doesn't have a lot of credits, agents and managers have to fight to get you auditions. They have to put together a press kit. Often they messenger it to an office. Don't think your agents aren't fighting for you. They are. The game is tough because most of the stuff on primetime is already out to offers on people who are already on other shows, right? Because the industry is so tight and everything is about making money, and pilots only get 1 or 2 episodes before they get canceled. Money is everything in this business. Everything happens really fast. So if you cost somebody time trying to give you a job, they're gone. If your headshot and resume says, I can't hire this person and give them a job that's going to pay them $3,000 for the day or $7,000 for the week, and then residuals to the tune of $10,000 or $15,000 for the next 10 years. They're saying I'm going to pay you $20,000 to come here and do 2 hours of work. If your headshot and your resume look like you spent $10 on it, you're not ready for a job that pays you $20,000 for 2 hours of work. It's a job just like anybody else, anything else. If you were going to law school, you'd get a blue suit, a Brooks Brothers suit. You would not go to Macy's to get a blue suit for your partner meeting or for the big agency on Madison Avenue, for the big law firm on Madison Avenue. You would get the $2,000 Brooks Brothers suit. Because if you get the job at that Madison Avenue law firm, you're going to be clocking $250,000 a year. So the $2,000 suit is an investment. Your acting career is exactly the same. I don't coach a lot. I coach with actors who are really ready to move to the next level. And the minute somebody starts talking to me about how much something costs, I know that we're not going to be able to work together. Because this game here, it's about money. It's about a lot of money. I know you want to act and express your feelings and share who you are, and that's what makes you a beautiful artist. Primetime and network, they care that you deliver a story and that you deliver it fast on a set and that you look fantastic and nobody has to tell you that. The hair is done. If you need Botox, you get Botox. If you need a trainer, you get a trainer. If you need to get your nose fixed, you get it fixed. The way you look and your presentation is actually what you are selling in this business. So when students or clients come to me and say, I can't afford that, I'm like, you can't afford me, because I work with actors who are in this game to win, not play at it, not be at it part-time, to win, right? I also produce films. I also write plays and produce them. So when I'm working with people, I'm looking to who I can cast. I've cast my clients. When I have somebody coming up with a really raggedy presentation, I knew that's not somebody I can say, okay, I really love this client's work and I want to bring her in to New York Theater Workshop to audition for my play. But if I vouch for her and she comes in with a raggedy presentation, I look bad. I can't afford that. You know, we've cast movies and people that I have coached have come into audition and the work was shoddy and the look was bad. The headshot, the resume, all of it was tacky. You got to give people some ammunition to fight for you for. And if you don't think you're worth a $3,000 suit, a $5,000 reel, why should I hire you and pay you that much money? Voila. So the first thing, your arsenal is in shape. The second thing is to start researching agents in this town. I want you to look at careers, actors' careers that you really admire and you feel like, I could have that career. Make a list of them. And then you're going to research who represents them now and who represented them when they started. I want you to have a list of Lupita Nyong'o's first 3 agents. I want you to have a list of Sam Jackson's first 5 agents and managers. Because you don't want to sign with the people that they're with now, but it's the agents that were with them at the beginning and the managers who built those careers. You want managers that know how to build careers. You want agents that know how to massage careers. So look at your idols that you feel like you're like and look at who started them in their careers. That's the key to targeting agents. And you're going to get a hot list of 10. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you what to do with that hot list. All right? Y'all be good. Bye-bye.